segue into this weekend. Both Tom Brady and Rob Gronkowski were limited in practice this week, but are expected to play on Sunday. Gronk has missed the last 2 games, but hopefully won't be terribly taxed when he comes back as the Patriots take on the Jets. Jets have lost 4 in a row, and all their fans. CC, how much better can the Patriots be with Gronk?
Hey, depending on which Gronk we're going to get. How healthy is he? Like, did they leave him out an extra week? Did the bye week get him back to 80, 90%? Like, because earlier in the year, Mike Lombardi,
who used to work with the Patriots, he ran the Browns, he went back and was a consultant with Belichick, very close to the Patriots.
And after like 3 games, he was like, man, I think Gronkowski's lost a little wiggle. He's lost a little explosiveness, like his route running. He doesn't look as the Gronk that I had seen before. He looked more like a lumbering, just trying to be physical, because Gronk, there's a few things he can do. He has great releases off the line of scrimmage. He's too big, too quick, too strong. And Gronk has more speed than people anticipate. Look at a lot of the highlights where he's running away from people, stiff-arming them. We hadn't seen an awful lot of that. So where is he going to be? If he's back close to 90%, we're talking about an end-of-the-line blocker who is an elite. So if they get him and Sony Michel back, so it's not just Gronk. It's his ability. Can he be great at blocking again? Because he's also going to dictate a lot of coverage from the Jets. The Jets are going to be like, hey, we're not going to let Gronk beat us. So now we should continue to see Josh Gordon continue to take advantage of that, make more plays on the outside. I wouldn't be surprised if Josh is targeted around 10 times. It should open up some things for him, but it also should open up some things for Edelman. So it's not just how many balls is Gronk going to get. It's him on the end of the line blocking. It's the effect it's going to have on Sony Michel and the lack of coverage that they can put on these other wide receivers that I believe will take advantage of those.
But if once he comes back, he looks like the Gronk that we saw the last few games he played, he's not going to dictate as much coverage. If he does look like a lumbering, lesser player that is at the tail end of a career, then all of a sudden some of the advantages you get from having Rob Gronkowski on the field when he's not touching the football, those dissipate a bit. He had a monster week 1 of the season. Since week 1, he has 22 catches for 325 yards and no touchdowns. And he's only missed 2 games, so it's not like so we're talking about an 8-game sample where he has just been okay. Like, he's been fine. And so you saw teams all of a sudden not dictating coverage as much to double-team Gronk once they saw he wasn't as dynamic. And I'll add another thing. Like, the Patriots, 2 of their bad road losses came with Gronk. Only 1 of them came without him, the most recent one against Tennessee. But the loss to a bad Jags team, the loss to a bad Lions team, Rob Gronkowski was out there.
Well, is there something to be said for, and this is something you bring up, it could be wrong, apples and oranges. LeBron saves himself as the season goes along because he knows what it takes for him to preserve his body. Is there something to Belichick scheming it this way so you're not seeing 100% of Gronk because they know they need him down the stretch?
Yeah, I mean, that's what people can think, but when you really look at it, let's look at what happened this offseason. Gronk, hey, I don't know what I'm going to do. I might go into wrestling. I might go into the movies. I might retire. Then they came to some type of agreement where they gave him a lot of incentives in his contract.
That he's not going to hit any of.
So there's no way that this is the plan because they wouldn't have that incentive plan. This is what they had to deal with him. Got off to a great start, then all of a sudden got nicked. Now, when he was playing those games and not getting numbers, it wasn't because they weren't trying to throw to him. It's because he was not effective. We saw a couple weeks ago when they needed a play to be made, they moved him outside, and he was able to make that play. But there's only been a few of those. So you can say that Gronk has been injured and is starting to, right now, the featured players on this offense are Sony Michel and Josh Gordon, all right? They are the 2 most explosive and probably been the 2 most consistent offensive players. So to think that here we are halfway through, more than halfway through the season, and those 2 offensive players will be the most consistent, more consistent than Gronk, more consistent than Tom Brady.
Right.
Like,
more
that would be,
than Edelman.
That would be.
The question there was, Chris's answer was, it never has it been so crystallized in my head how much more Chris likes you than me, because I thought that exact same thing about a year ago. And I said, I think they're kind of waiting to break Gronk out of the garage. And Chris, man, in pro football, You cannot do that. You got to try to win every game. He was so much more gentle. So because I thought the exact same thing, that the Pats know Gronk's got so many pitches left in his arm, so to speak, to mix metaphors. So let's save him for December and January. Let's make sure we don't overuse him, overtax him early in the season. Coach and Mangini have both said you can't do that in the NFL, even though visually I thought I was seeing something similar. One thing about this specific game, the Jets game, because that is the game that he's coming back for, if the Jets are going to have any shot at giving the Patriots another road loss on the year, where the Pats have been bad, obviously, this season, the Jets are going to have to clean up the three things they do on offense worse than anybody, which are the three worst things on offense to be bad at. They're the 31st ranked red zone team, the 32nd ranked third down team, and the 30th ranked turnover team. So what do you need to be a good offense? Score in the red zone, convert third downs, don't turn the ball over. They have been the worst in the league or among them at all three categories. They're going to have an outlier game to even make this close against the Pats.
All right, before we go to break, and while we are talking Patriots, CC, check out this clip that was sent to us this week.
Happy birthday, Chris. One of my favorites. Great personality, great human being. Celebrate many more happy times together, and just like you made our last trip to the Holy Land special with your presence. Be well.
Happy birthday, C.
Oh, thank you. Thank you.
Awesome.
Thank you. I appreciate that. Jenna could have given me a happy birthday. It would have been from a celebrity. I'm seeing you guys brought in a celebrity. Couldn't give him no happy birthday. This dude on.
Wait, the strategy to stand in front of all the trophies.
Yeah, Robert Kraft's stunting on you a little bit. Stunting on you on your birthday was standing in front of those 5 Super Bowls. Could have done it in his office. Could have done it from the field.
No, he's not stunting on me. That's what he should be doing. He's on brand.
Okay.
So,
yeah. Happy birthday, brother.
Yeah, appreciate it.
It's this weekend. Otherwise, we would be doing this today.
Awesome. Thank you, guys.
So,
we are doing this.
We are doing this today. Is another
it's
way
this
to
weekend.
Put that.
Otherwise, we would be doing it right now.
Be doing it right now.
Time. I don't know.
Coming up, everybody take a drink where you all give your good jokes. Can Aaron Rodgers and the Packers keep their playoff hopes alive Sunday? That's next on First Things First. Wish this guy a happy birthday this weekend.
It's my birthday. It's my birthday. It's my birthday.